We find ourselves in the midst of another compelling NBA season, Bill. We're almost at the halfway mark. We've had some surprises, some disappointments. Check out our previous video if you missed that. We've also had some outstanding performances, and we've had some really sustained runs of success. So for your money, Bill, if you had to pick an NBA MVP at this point in the season, who are you giving it to?
If I had to pick right now, I think make maybe a surprise to one of the some of the casual fans out there for the NBA, but I think I'll pick the Joker. The
Oh,
Joker, yes,
no.
absolutely.
I called it.
No, you call Nurkic. You call Nurkic, and we'll go with the Joker.
I meant Jokic, Hold up. That's
uh,
all right. Nikola Jokic from my
Nikola
boy
Jokic, my
Bill.
man. Nikola Jokic, my man. The guy has absolutely balled out. Tell me the last time you've seen a big man go off for
Mm,
27, 11, and almost 9 assists.
mm.
The guy's pretty much averaging a triple double as a 7 foot guy. And his
Mm.
defense, we've seen he's averaging way more steals this year. I don't know, like it looks very weird when he plays defense. like,
It
but
does.
he's quick with his hands, man. Like the guy's so quick with his hands. Like he has, like in those pick and rolls when they trap and stuff, he gets those steals
That's
somehow,
the only
some
thing
way.
he's quick with.
Like, no, but the guy's absolutely balled out. I don't think anybody this season. I was very close. You know how high I'm on the 76ers, and I think Joel Embiid was absolutely balling out to start off the season. He's kind of cooled off. I was very, very close to picking Joel, but I definitely can't ignore what Joker's doing. That's very historic for a big man to be doing what he's doing, especially the assists. Like you don't like although they do like that is their point forwardish or point center, whatever you want to call it. Like they do run most of their offense through
Point
him,
center.
but to be able to do what he's doing, like come on, like he's averaging more assists than LeBron James, and LeBron pretty much plays a point for his team. Like come on, how does that happen? The guy's absolutely balled out. Joel's averaging, I think, what about 2 more points? But at the end of the day, looking at overall stats, I had to go with Joker. I think he's absolutely balled out, and at this point, if the MVP award had to be given out, I would give it to him.
Bill's got Nikola Jokic as his
Nikola
NBA
Jokic.
MVP. Wow, he's coming way out of left field.
I don't think it's
I
left
gotta.
field.
Well, it's
Center
not
field.
left field. I just,
Center.
I wasn't expecting that from you per se. I wasn't expecting that from you per se, but I got to give it up. Jokic is obviously an outstanding talent. You look at him, and he doesn't necessarily look like a professional athlete like a lot of guys do in the NBA.
No.
But hey, the talent is there. The dude is an absolute baller. But let me tell you why I don't think I think there's two things that can really stop him from getting serious consideration or actually getting the MVP award. Number one is his partner in crime, the Robin to his Batman per se, and that's Jamal Murray. I think people are going to look at the talent that Jamal Murray has and his contributions. On Friday night, he just dropped 50.
Mm-hmm.
So Jamal Murray can definitely kind of take votes away from the Joker. The second thing that I think may hinder his candidacy is the overall team success. So usually we see the NBA MVP get awarded to one of the players, or if not the best player on one of the top teams overall in the league, at least in their respective conference at the very least. Right. So depending on where Denver ends up, and necessarily, right now, I don't think they can compete with the top 2, maybe 3 seeds in the West right now. So it might be a little hard for him to really maintain his candidacy throughout the later stages of the season as we move again from the halfway point on forward. For me, my money, maybe I've been listening to Bill too much, but right now I gotta say I'm a Joel Embiid believer Embiid. At this moment. At this moment, I gotta go with Joel Embiid. All the talk about trust the process for the past 6-7 years. I think this is peak Joel Embiid right now. You're seeing him at the peak of his powers, really hitting his prime of his time in the NBA. I think this is everything that the 76ers wished and hoped that he would be when they took him high in the draft. And we know he's had some injury issues, but right now, like I said, availability is your greatest ability, and he's really giving it to them. He's averaging 30 points, over 10 boards, and he's kind of been the do it all, the fulcrum of that Philadelphia team. If they can maintain their success also as a team, then I think Joel Embiid has a really good chance of winning it, given that he plays obviously the majority of their games. But I also got to give a shout out to two dudes that may or may not be on the radar. And one of them is Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard right
Oh,
now is the entire organization. I think his degree of difficulty is up there uh, against whoever you want to compare him to in the league.
yeah.
And the other dude who's also working with an even higher degree of difficulty that I would compare Damian Lillard's to,
Bradley
Steph
Beal.
Curry.
Oh, Steph Curry.
Wardell Stephen Curry, the baby faced assassin. Obviously, we know that that Golden State team isn't going to be what perhaps a lot of people were hoping them to be in the preseason before we heard of the Clay injury news. But I think
Well,
Stephen Curry has balled out. You know, he's had some really remarkable performances. He's had the statistical dominance, and even in games where he doesn't particularly play well, he still finds enough in his locker to get the win for his team, like that OT game against the Miami Heat not that long ago.
they just
You know,
lost to the Magic today.
they just lost to the Magic, and I was going to say that one of the things that can obviously works. The biggest negative against Steph is going to be his team success. So if he's
Right.
able to, you know, I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they can justify giving an MVP award to someone who just squeaks into the playoffs with their team, or maybe gets the
Right.
seventh seed, something like that. So it's going to have to be a miracle. I don't think Steph can realistically win it. That's why my money would be on Joel Embiid, and that would be my MVP at this moment. But I just had to give a special shout out to those dudes. I saw Damian Lillard with 16 assists the other day. I know a lot of people sometimes get on him for his lack
He's
of playmaking.
he's absolutely been balling out since McCall's been out. Absolutely, like
Exactly,
it's been
exactly.
him. Like it's like him or bust. That's
And I
literally
was
it.
just gonna say that I think he's upped his game to the next level now at this crucial stretch of games where his team needs him the most. And hey, he's got Portland right up there. So you
Mhm.
know that's definitely not a dude to be slept on. But I think you just can't overlook what Joel Embiid has done for Philadelphia this season, and you know just how productive and how consistent he's been.
Oh, I think overall, like what we are witnessing out of Joker, I think is very historic. We have seen
Unique, definitely.
what 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 Joel Embiid's doing. We have seen that previously. Other big men dominate, and that's how they dominate, right? That what Joker's doing is completely unique and completely like a unicorn type of performance, where it's like a one in a
Exactly.
million type of thing. And we saw that kind of happens. Like we saw Russ win it when he was on the historic performance in OKC after KD left. He was, I think, the fifth or the sixth seed at that time. He won MVP.
Fourth or fifth, I believe. Yep, I
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, fifth, fourth or fifth or sixth. Somewhere it was at the bottom half. So I'm gonna say fifth. Um,
think it was
so
fifth. Yeah.
so at the same time, if something historic like this happens with Joker, I could also see him very well win that award. And I feel like so far he actually earns that award. We've seen Denver not have that team success, and I think that's just kind of a hungover from last year, having that crazy amount of success in the bubble. Just kind of having a shorter off season, younger guys don't know how to manage their off seasons, etc. Trying to get back into shape. They've seen they've played better ball of late, and then Michael Porter. I think they kind of expected more of his development to come through this season,
Mm-hmm.
and it hasn't really. Maybe it's due to the shortened off season where he didn't really get that much time to work on his game, but he hasn't really like when they let go of Jeremy Grant. We give a big shout out to him, absolutely balling out in Detroit.
In
Uh,
Detroit.
So like I I think when they let him go and they decided not to like pay him a lot more, I think they expected more from Michael Porter Jr., which hasn't really happened.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's the missing piece. And if he can give consistent contribution, I think they're really a team to be messing with. And they have Bol, like the guy's an absolute monster when he comes out of the full. Like they got a great central rotation there. I think
Bull shout out.
by the end of the season, I definitely think that Denver will be one of the top four seeds, and that'll be enough for Joker to take the trophy home for MVP this season.
You don't think that Jamal Murray being on the same squad and Jamal
I don't.
Murray having those types of outbursts that he can have will kind of
I
detract, maybe make voters a little hesitant?
I think then you have to look at Ben Simmons for Philadelphia though. No, I think he has Ben Simmons.
They're not
He
on the
has,
same level. Come on.
He has Ben Simmons. He has Tobias Harris. And those are two second and third options, which I would argue second is kind of comparable, especially because of the defensive prowess that Ben Simmons has.
You
And
tell me right now, who would you rather have on your team, Ben Simmons or Jamal Murray?
I'd have Jamal Murray. I'm not
Thank
saying
you.
I would have Ben Simmons, but I'm just saying the different sides of the gun. He's way more explosive offensively. He's much better defender than Jamal Murray can ever even dream of. So it's like they both play different games. I think they're kind of
Hmm.
in the middle
Yeah,
of the pack,
definitely.
good secondary pieces, where Jamal Murray kind of even has the potential to be even a primary piece on a team. But I think he just needs to kind of work on his defense and playmaking a little bit more. But and then he has a third option in Tobias Harris, which is better than any third option that Denver has. So I think if you want to say that having those secondary and tertiary talent on their team will kind of hurt Joker's case, I think it kind of works even more in Embiid's case.
So you don't think Jamal Murray is going to detract
No,
possible
I
votes
don't. I don't
from
think so.
Jokic?
No, we've consistently seen teams who have two superstars, three superstars, not three, but definitely two superstars where someone wins that MVP award, and it doesn't really give much.
Team
Like
success, my man. Team success.
that's what I'm saying. By the end of the season, I do believe Denver will be one of the top four seeds, and I think
Mm,
that'll just
that
being
would be
fourth.
enough.
Fourth will be enough. Yeah, because what he's doing is absolutely historic and absolutely unique. Where they'll
Never seen
have
it
to
before.
exactly. So then that this just becomes one of those cases like we have to give it to him. He's doing something that's never been done before.
You already know what it is. You heard it here first on the Bill and Pablo show. My boy Bill with a huge Jokic shout out. Jokic for MVP. You
Yo,
heard it here first.
let's fill in those ballots. Let's go, Jokic.
If you want to hear more incredible shout outs, you already know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned to the Bill and Pablo show. Peace.